I just don't understand what you came out here and what you're trying to do. What are you trying to accomplish?
I am trying to introduce you to the closest friend I have, Jesus Christ. I am trying to introduce you to the closest friend I have, Jesus Christ. Why?
I was raised Methodist for 16 years. I have been close with that. And what education have you?
What education do I have?
Yes, sir.
Well, I got a Bachelor of Arts from Davidson College in North Carolina. I got a Master of Divinity from Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary. Not that that means anything, right? I mean, who gives a rip about my education, really? But you asked, so I answered you. But you see, ma'am, I'm not standing out here saying the reason you should believe in Jesus is because I do. I think you'd be a fool to believe in Jesus because I do. Rather, the reason to believe in Jesus is because you've read the Gospels, you've seen that the evidence is he is reliable in a way that none of the options are. That's why putting your faith in him is so wise. So, ma'am, like it or not, you have faith. You're living for something or someone. Now, ask yourself, what's the evidence that what I'm living for is true, is reliable? Let me give you some options. Maybe you're living for your intellect, your rational powers, okay? And there's some evidence that you better trust your reason. That's good. But to put your ultimate faith in your rational powers, in light of how many mistakes I've made rationally, in light of the fact that my mind could easily be hit with dementia or Alzheimer's, in light of the fact that my mind will definitely die one day and be over and gone, gosh, I don't think that ultimately I should trust my mind. Why do I get an education? Because I need to grow my mind. Because there are other people who are more intelligent than I am. And that's why I get an education, to develop this mind. To put my faith ultimately in my mind in light of how many mistakes I've made, I don't think that'd be very wise.
What about in light of how many mistakes religion has made? How can you believe in something that has the Holy Crusade, that has its justification for so many different types of racism, so many different types of prejudice, so many different... How can you put faith in something, in a system like that?
Very good, ma'am. I respect you. We're right on the same page. If I was standing out here saying, put your faith in Christianity, you should say to me, time out. In light of the Crusades, the Inquisition, the Salem witch trials, in light of how many white Christians enslaved blacks in America, you gotta be kidding me. And you'd be absolutely right. I'm telling you that if you put your faith in Christianity, you're making a big mistake. But if you put your faith in Jesus Christ, that's radically different. For Christ never called for the Crusades, the Inquisition, the Salem witch trials, or slavery. Instead, Christ called for us to love God and to love each other with our heart, soul, mind, and strength. Christ attacked racism in his best-known parable, the parable of the Good Samaritan in Luke 10. A Samaritan helped a Jew, and there was all types of racial tension between Jews and Samaritans. So you're absolutely right. To put your faith in Christianity is foolish.
How can you distinguish Jesus Christ from Christianity when the story of what Jesus Christ supposedly is spread through what Christianity is as a religion? How can you distinguish between those two?
Good. By having the intellectual open-mindedness and honesty to go to the source documents, the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Find out, what did the eyewitnesses hear Christ say? What did they see him do? Get a good understanding of who Christ is, and then either reject him because the evidence is he's a liar, or put your faith in him because the evidence is he's true. Go to the source documents.